So the purpose of our video today is to walk you through the initial setup of the REDARC Alpha BCDC charger. If you've purchased one of our Aussiedrifter dual battery systems using the REDARC Alpha charger, it's very important that before we use the setup that we configure it for our vehicle type, for the battery type that we're using to get the charger set up properly. So it's important that we follow this process. And the whole process is outlined within the REDARC manual included in the kit. From page 23 on, you'll see this. It can be done through the apps. It can also be done via the button on the front of the unit, which is explained in the manual. But it's far easier to do it through the apps. So we'll walk you through that process right now. So today we'll be using an iPhone, but the process is very much the same, whether it's an Android phone or an Apple phone. The first thing we want to do is go to the phone's app store. In the search bar, type in REDARC. Now you'll see a series of apps, different REDARC apps that pop up. Now the main app that we want to download is the top one there, Red Vision by REDARC. And download that app. We can actually use that to configure the unit and also to keep an eye on our dual battery system while we're camping. Now once you have that app, click the Red Vision user app, open it up. Now you'll see it's trying to connect to a unit. To connect to our new REDARC Alpha charger, we need to firstly put it into Bluetooth connectivity mode. You'll see the button here. If we hold that button down momentarily until we see a blue light, remove our finger and it starts flashing. That means we're in Bluetooth connectivity mode. Now back to our app, the three lines beside the picture of the Alpha charger. If we click on that, hit Add Device, we'll see a list of 3 devices that it can see in the area. Now, if you've got more than one unit in the area, you'll see them all appear here. The best way to tell that we're working with the right unit is to compare the serial number on the front of the unit. You'll see the REDARC serial number here. Compare that with the serial number on the list of chargers there, and we'll see that in this case, it's that top charger. Click on it and we'll start connecting to the charger. If this is the first time connecting to the charger, it may do some setups, it may do some firmware updates. Just follow the prompts there to update the unit. And this may take a couple minutes to connect to initially. So you can see we're in and it's done its initial check. Now the first thing we want to do before we look at this page that tells us everything that's going on and how the battery's charging, we want to click on those 3 lines again next to the charger up the top left, and go down to the product settings. Now this is the important steps that we do to make sure it's configured correctly. Let's go to battery configuration first. So this is talking about our auxiliary battery in the vehicle. The first main thing that we want to select is the battery type. You'll see it's got gel there. So if we're using a lead acid deep cycle, we would select lead acid. If we're using an AGM. If we're using lithium or heated lithium, we have a range of different battery types that the charger can charge, but it needs to know which battery type we're using. So if we're using a lithium, which it's connected to our lithium test bench at the moment, so we'll select lithium. That's our first option. Next, you'll see the battery size. So that's the amp hour rating of the battery bank. If it's 100 amp hour or is it 200, 300, we can use the slider or the plus and minus arrows to select the size bank that we're using. Now in this case we are 100 amp hour lithium in our test bench, so we'll keep that there. The next feature is the max charge current. Now this is a 25 amp alpha, so in most cases we'll leave this at its max. But just to run through a scenario where this might be useful, let's say we got the REDARC Alpha 50. Now, let's picture this scenario. We've bought it as a future-proof means, thinking that we may go lithium in the future. But right now, we're just using a lead-acid deep cycle battery. We find that battery's recommended charge rate is 25, 30 amps. So if this was a 50 amp charger, we could derate this down to, say, 25 amps. Or whatever that battery's recommended charge rate is. Let's just go to 20 for now. And that would ensure that this charger never puts out more than 20 amps into the auxiliary battery. Then down the track, we decide to upgrade to lithium. Well, we'd drop down that battery selection, select lithium, and then we could run that at its max. If the recommended charge rate on that lithium is more like 50 amps, or if it was 40, we could rate it to 40 amps. So that's one scenario where it's great to be able to adjust the output current of the system. Now the next one down is the low voltage alarm. Once again, that can be dependent on what type of battery we're using and the type of loads that we've got on that battery. So let's say we had a lead acid deep cycle just running a fridge in the back of a car. We might go around the high 11s. Just that's the point that we want to be alerted, hey, we really need to get some charge back into this battery. If it was lithium just running a fridge and low voltage or low current 12 volt accessories, we might go up around the 13 or the high 12s, as those batteries sit at a higher voltage. But if we had a massive inverter on that lithium battery, say a 2000 watt inverter, it's drawing 200 amps when we're using it at its peak, well then maybe we'd go a little bit lower, because we don't want to be alerted every time that inverter starts drawing heaps of current and therefore lowering the voltage. So we might drop that down a little bit lower, and we can play with this as we're out there. If we're getting alerts too frequently, we'll drop it back a little bit, or vice versa, raise it up. So once we've made all of those important settings on this page, we want to make sure we've selected the right battery type, the right size of the bank, and follow the battery manufacturer's recommendations in the charge current. We can then hit save here. And if you want to click back on that, we can just make sure that it is all saved. So we've definitely saved our parameters there. The next thing is the charging options. Now this is more looking at our vehicle type or our alternator type in the car. For instance, if you've purchased a dual battery kit from us and it has an ignition wire, that means that it's for a vehicle that's got a smart alternator or a variable voltage alternator, such as a Ford Ranger kit, for example. If it has that ignition wire that requires tapping into a fuse source to power the charger, in that case, we would select ignition on here. And what that means is that the REDARC charger is then going to isolate the two batteries based on whether or not it sees an ignition source down that feed. If we didn't have a smart alternator car, if it was a Toyota, such as a Hilux, a Prado, a Land Cruiser, they have what's called a temperature compensating alternator. And in that case, we can rely purely on the inbuilt isolator on the REDARC, in the REDARC charger. So it will determine that the voltage has gone high, the vehicle is running, it will start charging. When the vehicle's turned off, it'll see the voltage go low and it'll stop charging and isolate the two batteries. In that case, and that goes for all the kits that don't have an ignition wire, we would select auto. So they're the two main ones that you're going to use with any of our kits. Let's just run through though another one, the on. So if we were to hit on there, that means that the charger is just going to charge no matter what it sees from an ignition wire, no matter what the voltages are, it's just on as soon as it's got power to it. That might be handy if we're setting up an alpha charger in, say, a caravan. It's powered through an Anderson plug, and the Anderson plug has an isolator on the car. As soon as that isolator clicks in, we're driving along, we've got power to the Anderson, we just want the charger to run the whole time. As soon as we turn off the car, the isolator clicks out, there's no power. So we could just set that to on. So every time the charger gets power, it's just charging, no matter what. So they're probably the three main ones that we will use. It does automatically detect whether it's a 12 volt or 24 volt system, so we don't really have to worry about that too much. So in this case, we've got a 300 series one, so I'm just going to leave that in auto. Now here's another interesting feature, vehicle input current limit. Once again, we've got the 25 amp charger, so it may not apply to this charger. We'll probably leave that all the way. But just to highlight the use of this feature, let's say it was a 50 amp charger. Now here's a scenario where this might be useful. Let's say it's a 50 amp charger and it's installed in our caravan, and our caravan has a roof full of solar. It's got 1,000 watts of solar panels on there. But let's say it's only got, say, 6 BNS cable running up to the drawbar to our Anderson, and same through the car. We don't want to pump 50 amps down that cable. It probably can't handle it. Well, one of the great features of the REDARC chargers is they have green power priority. So in that case, let's say it can take 25 amps from the roof. We're driving along on a sunny day. It can take 25 amps of solar off the roof. Well, if we derate this to 25 amps on our setting there, or we'll just put it at 24, it's now telling the unit that it can suck 24 amps from the vehicle down that Anderson cable. That's its limit. And then if it can do 26 off the roof, we're still getting our 50 amps of charge into the batteries. If we're driving at night or it's an overcast, cloudy day, we won't be getting that. We're limiting our charge from the car to 24. So at night, that will be the max that we get. But on a nice sunny day, we can take advantage of the full 50 amps by using the 24 from the car and let's say the 26 coming from the roof. So that is a good feature. If we can get 30 amps from the roof, it will take 30 from the roof and 20 from the car. That's a great feature of these REDARC chargers. So that's one example of where that setting is useful as well. Once we're happy with the settings on this page, once again, we hit save. And now we've locked in our unit and we've set it up according to our dual battery in the car and according to the car type. Now, let's check out the home screen now of this app. Now, this is the screen that we'll probably use the most when we're out camping, using the system, when we're out touring. So from our home screen now, we're seeing the very top is the current coming in from the charger. Now, this is connected to our test bench. It is plugged into solar at the moment. It is an overcast day, so that's why we're seeing a lot of fluctuation here. But we're seeing the current coming in from solar at the moment. I will just simulate starting a car so you can see the full current. Okay, so the test bench has been turned on, which means it now thinks that the car is running. So in a short period of time, we'll see this current increase up to probably its full potential of 25 amps. Once it detects the high voltage from the car running, because we're in auto mode, it will start charging at 25 amps. So we'll wait to see that. There we go, it's happened. 25 amps there in the current. Now underneath, we're looking at the auxiliary battery, the figures for the auxiliary battery. So it's sitting at 14.1 volts. It's a bit higher now that it's on charge. It's also got the temperature there, 25 degrees. Now that's an important part of our installation with the Alpha charger. You'll notice it has a temperature probe along with the main negative terminal that goes to the auxiliary battery. There's a small wire that also goes on the negative terminal. That's so that the Alpha can read the temperature of the auxiliary battery and change its output current accordingly. We've got our charging mode there, and we've got our charging stage. So it's in boost now, it's pumping its full 25 amps in. Once that gets up to charge, we might see float written there, absorption, depending on our battery and what the state of charge is at of our auxiliary battery. Underneath, you're seeing what's coming in from the car, voltage-wise, 13 volts on the main battery, and then the voltage on the solar. Like I said, it's an overcast day, so that voltage is all over the place at the moment. Under that, we're seeing the wattage from the solar and how many watt hours. Now, an interesting feature of this app is right down the bottom next to the home screen, we've got a picture of a graph there. Click on that graph. Now, this unit has only just been connected, but if we've been connected for many days or weeks, we can go through and see, right now we're set to per hour. We can see the amount of solar we've put back into the battery per hour. We can drop that down and go to per day. See how much solar we've put in throughout the whole day, or yesterday, or the day before. So that's a really handy little feature there. Back to our home screen now. If we duck up to the top again, our three lines, the menu there, here's another great feature of the REDARC Alpha charger is that it can jumpstart your vehicle. So right down the bottom here, under system options, you'll see recovery. Now what this does is, let's say you've been out camping, you've left your lights on, or you've been listening to the radio and the vehicle's start battery has gone flat for whatever reason. Well, this option allows you to suck power from the auxiliary battery put it back into the main battery, and therefore jumpstart yourself. So if we hit start here, you'll see it started a 15-minute timer. So during that period, it's going to take power from the auxiliary and put it back into the main battery to try and recover our battery. If it does that in less than 15 minutes, it'll come up here and say that our battery's been recovered. We can then go and start the car, and away we go. So we can either stop this early if we want, or if 15 minutes wasn't enough, we could start it again. So long as we've got power in our auxiliary battery, we can put that back into the main and jumpstart ourselves. So that's quite a handy feature of the Alpha charger. So you can see now, because we're dealing with a fully charged main battery in our test bench, it's already come up saying that it's been successful. We've recovered our main battery. We can now go and start the car, and away we go. So we'll exit our jumpstart setup there. So I hope that's been helpful. Well, now that you've installed your dual battery system, you've followed the procedures in this video and read through the procedures and the configuration process within the REDARC manual, it's time to go and start enjoying and using your dual battery system. Happy touring.